Welcome to another episode of Noble, a platform that connects people through human stories. We are in the last bit of the Leap series, and in the Leap series, I was simply sharing with you a story of a leap of faith, quitting my job, coming to the city and trying to find my purpose, finding something that speaks to my purpose. And as we summarize it, I simply want to talk about what made it what it is today, what pushed me to be where I am today. So the first thing that is worth noting is friends. Do you have friends that speak power to your purpose? Do you have friends who value what you do? Do you have friends who support what you do? I have been lucky as a person that my social capital is big. And within my social capital, I have a number of people, a good number of them, that understand my values, understand what makes me feel like me. All of them know I like working with young people. All of them know I like doing charity projects within my community, and they support it and they speak to it and they mention me through it. So it is very important that you have friends, and not just friends that you go out having fun, doing the noisy things that friends do together, but also having friends that understands who you are, speaks to the power within you, and understands that of the friendship, of the fun, there is something else that you do. That was the first thing that was very, very important. Number two is about knowing who is where and what are they doing. I am a product of mentorship. I am a product of acquaintances who understood the personality, the person that I am. So I scheduled these meetings with them. I told them why I am in the city. And at one point or the other, they made those phone calls and told me, try this and try that. Through those constant referrals, I managed to get to where I am today. Another thing that we cannot forget is that speaking positivity to yourself is a very, very important thing. In this moment, there were those times when I lost hope. There were those times when the inner voice told me I made a wrong decision. But I wanted to reassure myself that there was nothing wrong with the decision I made, and that the greatness that I was pursuing, the purpose, something that speaks to my purpose that I was pursuing, was not gonna come overnight. And therefore, I need to stay on the track. I need to speak purpose to everything that I do. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of motivation speakers. And this simply meant I had to stay positive. I had to speak purpose to myself. I had to read Bible. I had to read a number of personal stories. There are CEOs who at one point slept on the couch, faced a lot of hardship and everything. So speaking positivity to your head in times when you're walking in the jungle is very, very important. Another thing is about discipline. And I keep on saying, it is one thing to listen to people who motivate you, and it is one thing to act on what you listen to. It is one thing to read a book, a self-help book, and it's another thing to have the discipline to do it. You don't need the motivation to do it. You need the discipline to do it. You need the discipline to act on what you listen to, or what you read, or what life is speaking to you. Everyone ideally knows what they want. Everyone ideally knows what inspires them. But in most cases, we don't have the discipline to act on what motivates us. This year, I did not write my New Year resolutions. And the reason was, I have always had an idea of what I want for every year. When I took the leap to come to the city, the year 2022 was full of ideas, full of everything that I wanted to do. And I simply asked myself this year, am I going to sit down and write another 10-pointer or 7-pointer New Year resolutions? I said, no. I know what I want. I know what I've always wanted. What I needed to do was simply to redefine everything that I've always wanted. Dig deep into what I've always wanted and ask myself, how much effort did I put into achieving what I had set out to do? And so there were no New Year resolutions. There was simply a moment to redefine it. So discipline is very important because it pushes you to go beyond your comfort zone to achieve what you want. I can never underestimate the power of prayers, because in this moment, when I was looking for a job, when I took the big leap to come to the city, I prayed a lot. And in prayer, sometimes it's like journaling. It's like speaking to God, speaking what you want, your inner desires. Sometimes we never know what are our inner desires until you speak them or you take a pen and want to write them down. At the moment you write them down, they become very clear. So for me, prayers, speaking to God, telling God what I really wanted, brought about a lot of clarity to what I really, really desired. I've mentioned having the right friends that knows your purpose, speaks to your purpose. Having connectors, or call them your mentors, people who can make calls. And when I talk about mentors here, I'm talking about people who are somewhere, people who are in opportunities. Opportunities is connected to another opportunities, and therefore if you speak to them, if you know how to invest in your mentors, in that social capital, they are able to make those phone calls for you. Then I mentioned speaking positivity into your life, listening to motivation, but it is nothing if you don't go to the fourth one, which is discipline, having the discipline to do it. And lastly, I talked about prayer, that prayer is like a journal. When you speak to God, it's like you are asking God what exactly you want. And you know, prayer is very private. Prayer is very confidential. Prayer is that journal that you don't want any other person to read. And therefore, it brings a lot of clarity over what you want if you keep praying every day and telling God exactly what your soul is searching. So that was the end of the Leap series. We are looking forward to engage more in a new series altogether. I am glad that we can create this platform, Noble, to connect people through human stories. My name is Andre, and I am a storyteller. Thank you.